What's up, people? What's happening, people? I'll let y'all walk with me for a minute. I'll walk down here and go work out for a second. Try to get my little cardio up, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna take this little walk down here by the park / little track field, however you want to call it, you know. I call it the park. Some might call it the track field, you know. But we're gonna see how it go. How you doing?
Hello.
All right. But I want to come on here, man, and speak on. Sorry about that background, dog. Speaking on this child support thing, man. Everybody want me to speak on this child support thing, I guess, because I got the child support experience. That shit funny, but it's not funny. But the thing about child support is, it's not for the custodial parent. It's not for the non-custodial parent. The purpose of child support is for the financial support and the obligations of the child, which is true. But with all that said and done, we already know that whoever the custodial parent is, it is the mother or the father, has the right to do with that money or monies or funds how they see fit. And I think a lot of people have an issue with that. You know, I don't think the big issue is about child support and paying child support. The issue comes into, is the child actually getting the support? And is the amount that's determined by the support enforcement agency is the amount that can be afforded by the non-custodial parent? Because if you look at the laws on it, 9 times out of 10, everything is going to be on a non-custodial parent. Even though they say they take the monies from both parents and combine them and things like that, that's for to make things look fair. But 9 times out of 10, the custodial parent is actually asking for child support because either she can't support the child, or she needs more money, or she's on governmental assistance, and in order to obtain that assistance, you must have that father on child support, or that mother. It depends on who's going to ask for the assistance. So therefore, a lot of the times, the amount is unjustified about how much it is to pay, because you say you go, 20% for one child, 25%, 30% for 2 kids, you know, but it's not really 20 or 30%. That's the percentage that they're acquiring out of your obligation. That 20% becomes 40%, or really half of your payroll, because child support is taken out net. Child support is taken out before taxes. So if you have a child support obligation that's being determined on 20% of your net, meaning that when your other taxes come out, or whatever you have, 401k or things like that, you pretty much in the doghouse. And I think that's where the issue is coming in. It needs to be restructured, you know what I'm saying? All those things need to be fixed. But a lot of these things change, man. It's a business, you know what I'm saying? It's not about your child. They put that, it's a campaign. They put that and say, okay, it's about the kids, it's about the kids, it's about the kids. Which is not about the kids, it's about the money. Because the federal government, who started the agency, really did a campaign. Now with social media and all these things, then you can look on TV or whichever, they almost campaigning almost like a lottery ticket. It's almost like the Powerball or the Mega Millions, you know? Come to us and we'll get you this. You know how you go on and you hear all these lawyers talking about we'll get you money in the wreck accident with a big truck and all this. It's almost like that. And it can go both ways. It's not gender bias, because the system is the system. It's set up the way it needs to be set up. So it don't matter who it caters to, because at the end of the day, they're doing it for revenue for themselves. You see what I'm saying? That's what you have to understand. It's not about you or your kids. It's about making money for the state. And other states join on with it because child support is not a law. Child support is a program. And different states sign up for this program, and the federal government gives them money, grant money, to assess these programs. Once these programs are assessed, that grant money goes back into the system for the state. So, just about, from what I can find, 2 years ago, the federal government allowed $2.2 billion in grants. $2.2 billion that they're giving to states to implement the child support. A lot of states don't even have visitation in their child support. And I know one state is like that for sure. And it's the state where I'm from, is Louisiana. They will go through hell and high water to make sure that you are the father. They will try to establish everything that they can possibly establish to say, okay, he's the father. But once you establish as the father, you are established the father to pay, not establish the father to actually be a father, because they don't have visitation or they don't have any type of any other thing that goes and says that, hold on, I'm about to get hit. They don't have anything else that says that you are allowed to see your child. That is something you have to get from another judge. Because the first thing they're going to tell you is, well, we are here to establish child support. We're not an agency that establishes visitation. So therefore, you will have to actually acquire another lawyer to get your visitation. Now, this is where the bull crap come in at. Visitation is still under the custody umbrella. So therefore, when you try to acquire a lawyer, they're not acquiring and charging you for a visitation. They are charging you as a custody of a joint custody case. Meaning that, I'm almost 97% sure it is. Meaning that that retainer is going to require you to pay at least 10 grand just in retainer costs. Now, some of them might say, well, you know, we can go ahead and take $5,000 now and then we'll work the rest in. But you don't even really know how the situation is going to go, because they're going to charge you by the hour and they're going to charge you by every other thing that, like time, copied paper, things like that. And forbid you're not fighting her lawyer or his lawyer. If that is the custodial parent, you are fighting the whole state. And if you have a lawyer that's from that state, they all know each other. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. They do favors for each other. They hang out together. You have to understand this, man. You are in a monopoly. You're in a lose-lose situation for both parents, because even though as a custodial parent, you think you're getting financial support, you're really hurting your child. And a lot of people sacrifice their kids for financial support, for whatever they want to do. You see what I'm saying? It's all a sacrifice. They don't care about the child, because if they care about the child, you wouldn't be in child support office. You see what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure y'all can sit down and come together with something. And if y'all can't, then that just means you made the wrong decision on the type of woman or man that you decide to lay down with and have a child with. See, we make those wrong decisions as well. A lot of the times, child support is not because that custodial parent needs help. A lot of the time, child support is acquired because that custodial parent is upset that now you have another household, or you have another girlfriend, or you cheated on that person and went with that person. It's all about anger. It's all about emotions. A lot of this stuff is based off emotions, you know? And the only way I know to hurt you is to get in your pockets or take you and let the courts determine with you and put you in all this goddamn situational stuff, you know? They can care less about the child. Because if you care about the child support obligation when you go to court will be established on a 50-50 custody, because they still giving the custodial parent. And 9 times out of 10, yeah, it is some male custodial parents, but the higher percentage of custodial parents are female. And 9 times out of 10, they're giving her all of the rights. They're giving her all of the say-so. So if anything go down when you go to court and you're asking the judge A, B, C, and D, the judge or the caseworker is looking at you, and then they're going to look at her and say, do you want this to do this? Do you want this to happen like that? Do you want it to go like this? So you're not in court with the judge. You're in court with the woman or the man that's putting you on child support. So if you are there and they went through this whole drastic thing of actually bringing you there, waiting 6 months to get you there, what make you think now all of a sudden y'all going to be friendly and she's going to do you a favor or he's going to do you a favor and y'all just going to work things out all of a sudden? It's not going to happen. They want the highest point of punishment that can possibly go. You see what I'm saying? And then they come up with this, oh, I know what we can do. Let's take the driver's license away from them. Let's do this and let's do that. Like, I never understood what was the concept of taking away a driver's license or any other thing dealing with child support from a male or female, the non-custodial parent, if they're not paying. When you take away that driver's license and ID and passport and all that thing like that, what's going to happen now? What's the next move? Because now you're telling that person to go get a job, but that person can't get a job because guess what? They don't have ID. They can't get there because they don't have a driver's license, you know? And I know it's going to be a lot of people in the comments, oh, well, you shouldn't just have kids. And a lot of times, if y'all notice, a lot of people that say that, all you have to do is, or you shouldn't just have kids, are people without kids. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's situation is different. Everybody don't have the mindset you have, and everybody didn't grow up in the environment, or nobody had the support that you may have. So you can't really pass judgment on what another person did. That's just like saying, oh, if you want to be great in life, all you got to do is go to college. We all know that's bull crap. So you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? You can't say what you don't understand. But a lot of the times we can avoid this situation, you know what I'm saying? But we must allow a lot of the people to, or the state or the government to think for us, or to allow them to take our kids away from us, because that's what's going on. That's why you see all this it's so much crime going on. It's so much going on. If you look at the statistics, and don't quote me on this, but I'm thinking I can come close. A child without the father present in the household or present in that child's life, especially for a male, is 65 to 70% higher risk of going to jail, committing crime, and actually being incarcerated. Now, we're not going to get on the race thing as in a black male, you know, because the truth is the truth. Everybody shy away from this. This is not nothing about racism or nothing like that. It's facts. Look at the percentages. And we have to realize that what is going on. So right there is telling me that you're willing to sacrifice your child and your child well-being to get $500 a month, so you can say, woo-hoo, look at me, I got you, I got your money, oh, I got me a new car now, look at it. You know what I'm saying? Not every female and every male is like that. Not everybody's like that, and I must agree. But the percentages that are real high. You see what I'm saying? When this was created, when Clinton created all this child support agency, and at first it was non-support before that time, but Clinton reinvented it. And what he did was force a campaign, because a lot of the older people that was on child support was getting older, and the system and the program was losing momentum. You see what I'm saying? Listen to them closely now. Listen to what I'm saying. The program was losing momentum. So therefore, what he had to do was launch a campaign to get new people in there to actually go forward and keep the program going. That's why you're seeing this big push with child support obligations and all these commercials and okay, well, if you want this, then you got to bring us this. You know what I'm saying? That's why you seen that, because they need new victims, and they're preying on the males and they're preying on the females. They're preying on the custodial and the non-custodial parents. You know what I'm saying? They put you in the monopoly, and then they make you feel good and say, oh, you're going to take care of these kids. You're not going to. See, and everybody want to hear that. You see what I'm saying? Everybody wants to hear that. It's just like another analogy. If you want to go to war, I need the American people behind me to go to war. I just can't say I'm going to war. So what I do? I create an attack on America to say, oh, we are patriots, we are Americans, we would not be held down. We not, and everybody, yeah, we American. And then now I got your okay to go to war. It's the same concept. It's the same concept. But sad to say, when you meet or you feel like you're gonna be with a male or female, and you think you're gonna be with that person for a substantial amount of time, it's not just sex and flight. Sorry to say that, you make sure that male or female has a checking account. Upon having that checking account, you make sure it's a way that you can transfer or wire funds to and from that person. Because at this point, what that's going to do is save you from the inevitable that's really going to come up regardless. If you leave that custodial parent with that child support will come. You can be the most nutting individual in the world. It's okay if you are that nutting individual with that woman or that man that you have the child with. Once you remove yourself from that situation, then that's when it becomes a problem. You see what I'm saying? It's coming. So when you have those documents, and trust me, take this from somebody that's speaking from experience. When you have those documents, when you do go in for child support, it will show us your character as a person. It would also show that you didn't abandon this man or female with this child. Therefore, you won't have any back pay or arrearage, and then your negotiation skills are a little better. Because once you paint yourself as a bad person that don't give a damn about anything, that's just what they're going to give you back, pretty much. So, make sure you have all your ducks in a row. And it's sad that you have to go through that and you have to do that, you know. It's very unfortunate. But that in today's time, that's what we done came to. That's what it is now. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very, very unfortunate. Another thing with the child support obligation. If you go into the system and you are already in the system for previous cases, those cases must be taken in consideration when determining how much you pay in your child support. So there's this thing called a worksheet. The worksheet pretty much shows how did they come up to the amount that they're asking you to pay. Every agency must have this. If you ask to see the worksheet, they must allow you to see the worksheet and see how they calculated your amount. If they refuse that, then that case is null and void. Facts. But you have to know what to ask for and what to look for. Stop just going into a courtroom just saying, here I am. Research. Look for things that you need to know and prepare yourself. See, we don't prepare ourselves. We just, oh, she sent me to court or he sent me to court, and you just show up. Barehanded, nothing, no evidence, no nothing. You just there. That's why you always in the situation that you're in. because you're not prepared. And that poor judgment is coming across once again. That got you into the same situation. And I'm guilty of that. I must say for myself, not speaking on anyone else or judging anyone else, I'm talking about my own self. I'm guilty of that. Making poor judgment. You know? Sometimes you can think more of a person than they think of themselves. And you find yourself in a bad predicament because you gave that person too much credit. That's a jewel I just jumped on. So think about that. But dealing with that child support litigation, you must have all your ducks in a row. You must know your ins and outs. You almost have to become a lawyer, to be honest with you. Because you can fight your own cases. You know? And once again, I know down here in the comments, there are going to be people that say, well, I'm the custodial parent and I have to get up and I got to deal with the child. I got to take the daycare. I have to do this and I have to do that. You are a parent. That is your job to do those things. Yes, the non-custodial parent needs to help. I understand that, but you cannot complain about putting gas in a car that you just purchased to drive. Come on, man. Stop finding excuses. You made that decision. That man didn't lay you down and say, unless you was, let me rephrase that. Unless you was forcibly raped or held with a gun to your head saying, open your legs and let me have sex with you. You are more responsible than that guy who did it, because guess what? You can't blame a dog for barking. You have the power. If you would have said no, you wouldn't have got pregnant. Because once again, you was not forced and you was not raped. So this had to be a mutual agreement. Do you want to have sex? Sure. And that's what happened. If you have sex unprotectedly, you have kids. But don't have the child and then play victim. You know, we have a lot of that going on, playing victim. Oh, look at it, old me. I'm just trying to go to school and I'm just trying to do this and it's just so hard. But the system is gonna allow you to do that. Because if I be hard on you, then what's gonna allow other females or males to come in and want our support? You see what I'm saying? That's one reason why they're not hard on custodial parents. We need those victims, quote unquote, to come in and ask for our help. If we are hard on them as we are the men, because, and it's going to be some women that agree to this and some women not, but it's the truth. If they are harder on the females like they are the males, you wouldn't be running to them all the time. And when you don't run to them, that's the end of the program. So I need to have incentive for you to say, keep coming. So for your benefit or for your bonus or for your prize for bringing that person into our system, here's food stamp. Here's housing assistance. Here's these governmental assistance programs that will help you, as in saying, thank for your support. And at the same time, when you turn your back and walk away, they stab you in your neck. Because you're expendable. Everything that you're doing in that system is not for the benefit of you. But you see it like that because we are hypnotized by money. 80% of the people in this goddamn world can care less about the well-being of their child. Other than, let me feed my child and let them take it to school. You're not concerned about the household of which the child lives in. You'll be surprised at what your child have saw that you think they haven't seen. You'll be surprised what your child comprehends that you think that child can't comprehend. And at the end of the day, you wonder why you find a lot of males disrespecting women, calling them bitches and hoes and doing all this other, because once they have gotten older, they have realized my whole life I've been lied to. My whole life I've been lied to. This woman that I feel and put so much trust in has lied to me. Now that I'm seeing that I'm talking to my father or the custodial parent, non-custodial parent, and it's not what that person told me it was like, that child builds hate for you because you have robbed that child from his father or his mother this whole time. This child has depression issues now. This child have anxiety issues now. All that because of what you did, because you wanted to allow $200, $300, $400 to come into your life. Allowed you to live the lifestyle that you wanted to live at that time. See what I'm saying? You can go out and use the child money for get Jordans and Gucci and all these other things, but you got the child wearing PJ Maxx. You got the child with Batman shoes on. You see what I'm saying? But hey, I ain't the one. I'm just telling you what I see. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. It's a program. And until you learn how to play the game and play the program, non-custodial parents that care. I'm not speaking on the men or the women that don't give a damn, because you can do nothing about that. You can't make a person care if they don't care. That was your mess up. You got with the wrong person, and now you suffering the consequences. But the ones that care seem like the ones that has the most problems. Because a person can only take away from you what they feel you care about or you love. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all. You know, I'm gonna put my I got a web page, man, YouTube. I'm gonna put all that in the description, man. Y'all check me out, man. Y'all want facts? Holler at me. Gone.